Welcome to another episode of the Fight Insight podcast. We're the podcast that brings you all the latest news, updates, and analysis from the world of mixed martial arts. Today, we're going to be diving deep into the world of MMA. We're going to be discussing the ups of BKFC. Fucking love it. The downs of, I'm going to slaughter his name, Francis Ngannou. Is that okay?
Yeah, close enough.
And the rise of a future Canadian star. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for an action-packed episode of Fight Insight. Tim, hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fight Insight podcast. Let's talk.
That name gets me every time. I'm sorry.
Francis Ngannou. All right. Our guest today is set to make her pro MMA debut at FLA 9. That's Fight League Atlantic 9 this Saturday, May 6th. Hailing from Prince Edward Island on the east coast of Canada, known for Green Gables, golf, gorgeous sandy beaches, lobster, mussels, and oysters, this university hockey player got tired of beating people up on the ice and being forced into a box. So now she's chosen to willingly enter a cage and beat people up there. Everybody, please welcome to the podcast, Maria Clinton.
Hey, guys.
How's it going, Maria?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, good. Thank you for joining us. This is your fight week.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you super pumped for this?
Yeah, I'm ready to get in there.
Pro debut.
Yep.
Exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Derek from Fight League Atlantic, we had him on the podcast long time ago. Great dude. We said to him, hey, Fight League Atlantic 9 is coming up. I want your best superstar on the card to join this podcast. And he said, Maria Clinton, immediately.
I appreciate that. No superstar, but I'll take it.
Yeah, he says you are a rising star. And I watched your 3 amateur fights. Goddamn. They're pretty impressive. So I can see why, like, how important, or I guess, how does it make you feel to know that you have like the support of so many people and the promoter saying great things about you?
That's really nice. I guess I started my first fight off like with FLA with Derek. So he's been in my life, I guess, for ever since I started mixed martial arts. So he's always had my back and he always keeps up to date with my career. So I thank Derek for a lot, and I hope to keep fighting in FLA and see how the next one goes.
Yeah, nice. And then I do have to say, show your shirt a little bit because I can't see it right now, but nice. The Fight League Atlantic merch is very cool. Like, they have some good stuff. Did you get that? Did you get that for free?
Yeah, we get a lot of stuff for free. Actually, it's really good promotion.
All right, nice. Actually, that answer could have turned really bad, Bradybunch, if she had said, no, I got to pay for it myself.
I pay for everything myself.
Yeah. Sometimes we like to start off with some fan questions, Maria, so I'm going to send this one your way. I thought this was interesting. As I said in the intro, you're a hockey, or you're a former university hockey player. Does having filthy mitts in hockey translate to dirtier mitts in the cage?
That's so funny. Let's say yeah.
Yeah? Okay. And that is from Jeremy Willis. I believe you made training with this gentleman. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I used to live in a condo, and we had to file complaints because someone left their hockey gloves in the storage area all the time.
Oh yeah.
It was one of the worst things ever. Like, it was pretty bad.
Stink it up.
Yeah. It was pretty gross. Now, were you the goon on your hockey team?
It's actually funny because I really wasn't. I was never chirping anybody. I was never in the mix. And then, once I got out of hockey, I was in mixed martial arts. So everyone was kind of like, what happened there? But I was never the goon.
No?
No.
So then why the transition? How did it come from hockey to MMA?
I guess it just, in hockey and all sports throughout my life, I just wanted to be the best I could be. So I wasn't out there trying to beat people up in hockey because I want to score goals and stuff like that. And then after hockey, I was just kind of looking for something to keep me active, maybe like a team kind of thing. So I started with jiu-jitsu, and then I seen that there was other classes going on. So I joined all that, and then I'm here.
Is it just that you're just like, hey, I'm just an athlete, you just took to it, and then next thing you know, because I mean, choosing to step into a cage and fight someone is like not something that everyone would do, you know? Like you got to have that animal mentality. You know what I mean? Like you got to be crazy, no?
People call me crazy sometimes. I think it's more like I really like the mindset of the sport. Like with mixed martial arts, like it's really you against you in all aspects. You know, like if you're not preparing or training hard, it's gonna show. You can't hide from that, right? Like whatever you're doing outside the cage is gonna show in the cage, and I think that's where I like to, get prepared and then show how well I've progressed, I guess, every fight.
Nice. And then, so that kind of leads me to another fan question from Crozier. Matt asks, what is your ultimate goal as a mixed martial artist?
I would say just like fight in the biggest promotions possible, I guess. Like I just want to keep fighting, hopefully keep winning and just see where it takes me.
Nice. That's crazy. So this isn't just for fun while you do your job as a whatever it is that you do. This is like serious. You're legit going into this. You're going to be the next big thing, right?
Oh, I mean, I hope. I want to. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
take it pretty seriously. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, we hope too, because like the whole reason we have you on is because we got to get you before you're UFC champion, and then you ignore us. So we get you now, and then when people look up, who the hell is this Maria Clinton? They'll find our podcast. You know, that's the idea. This is a question. You're in Prince Edward Island, so for our fans across the world, they might not know, but that's on the east coast of Canada. Beautiful area. The question is, what's it like being from PEI, such an amazing place in the summer and so awful in the winter? And that's from Derek from FLA.
Yeah, he knows what's up, then. It's awful in the winter. There's nothing to do, small population, but the summers are very nice. There's lots of beaches, beautiful weather, great food, everything else. So just got to get through the winter.
Yeah. So what is so what do you do in the winter then? Is it just go train? Like you just got nothing to do but train now?
I'm in school, but it's online, so I don't have to actually go to class, which is nice. So right now I'm just, doing that and training. So it's pretty good combo right now.
Cool. And what do you do in school?
I'm in school for counseling.
Oh,
that's what I just went back for. So,
oh, nice.
Good for you.
Yeah, very cool. So when I'm looking you up and I'm looking at your fights, and everybody should be searching up Maria Clinton, I'm going to put your Instagram banner down along the bottom of the screen. It's at Maria Clinton 71, right? Yeah. What is the 71?
It was my hockey number.
Nice. And what's the reason for 71?
Well, my favorite number was 91, but when I joined the team, it was taken. So I had to go with 71. I stuck with it.
Nice. That happened to me when I was playing soccer. When I joined a new team, someone else had my number. And I was like, what the hell? And then we had to fight for the number. Not like fist fight, but like I forget what we had to do to get the number. I got it though. So I was number 10. I was looking for your at your fights, and then I'm like, okay, like what's Maria's nickname? There is no nickname for Maria Clinton. Obviously, I think it should be President. So then they'll go Maria President Clinton. That would be pretty cool, you know. But how come half the crowd will cheer, half the crowd will boo? How come no nickname, Maria?
I've thought about it before, I guess, but just nothing came to me. So I think that it's just going to be like in the moment, someone's going to say something. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's it.
All right. Brady, off the top of your head, nickname for Maria Clinton.
This is going to be hard. Off the top of that.
I know, because nothing rhymes with Clinton. You know what I mean?
It's like so hard.
Maria Hard-Hitting Clinton.
I went to my new best friend ChatGPT, and I said, what is a nickname for an MMA fighter named Maria Clinton from Canada? And it came up with, and I like these, the Maple Mauler.
Oh, okay.
Not bad. The Northern Hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
No, pass. The Queen of the North.
Oh,
I like
maybe.
that.
Maria does not look too impressed. And the last one, the Canuck Crusher.
No. Sounds like Vancouver Canucks.
No. Oh.
Leafs fan.
Oh, that's a big boo. Okay. Well, hey, I'm in Toronto, so thank you for that. Okay. So no nickname for Maria right now. Talking about your fight coming up, you've got a fan that asks, "What is your favorite way to end fights?"
Anyway, I mean, my last fight was my first stoppage, so I'm looking for another one, my next one. So anyway, I can get it, I guess.
Now you train at Henzo Gracie PEI, and like you said, that was your first foray into martial arts. Was Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? Can I ask what belt you are?
Blue belt right now.
Oh, nice. Okay, but your striking looks very, very good. Like you're very aggressive. That's what I appreciate for people that are not watching on audio. Oh, Jesus. See, Brady Bunch, I mess it up every time. For people that aren't watching this podcast on video, Maria is a straw weight. But the thing I love about your fights, Maria, is that you're very aggressive. And it looks like you could knock these people out pretty badly because you're throwing with bad intention, which I love. So, and that question was from C. Capriosa. She's a content creator that you'll probably see at FLA 9. She's always around in all of the local promotions, and she's doing a lot of video footage stuff. So I know she sent in a question, but she's excited to see you finish the fight. But you're saying anyway is good for you?
Anyway, I get it. Yeah. I guess like now with the professional rule set, I'm a bit excited just because I think that it helps with my striking a bit more. So I'm really excited to fight under that rule set, but I'll take a stoppage any way I can, I guess.
What's for those that don't know, what is the difference? Elbows?
Yeah, elbows, knees to the head, punching on the ground, stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Okay.
Brady Bunch, I know you had some random questions you were going to ask.
Yes.
We're going to try this out, Maria, with you. If this bombs, this is Brady Bunch's fault, not mine.
So I recently became a counselor. Sometimes with some of my clients, some have lots to talk about. Sometimes there's less. Sometimes I whip out random questions. Sometimes I pull out random questions from this little deck here.
It's like a deck of questions, Maria.
Yes, about you questions. I'm sure the fans want to know some of these.
Yeah.
All right. Random one. What makes you angry? And how do you behave when you're angry?
Oh God, making me think. I feel like I don't get angry too often, like I really am big on like my mindset, my mentality. So try not to let external things, really get to me. But I guess if I'm angry, I definitely want to be by myself and just like calm down.
All right. I get that.
That was probably like I could have answered that for Maria. Just meeting Maria this little bit of time, I'd be like, I don't think Maria gets too angry. Like you look like a pretty calm, relaxed person, Maria. All right, next question, Brady Bunch. Do one more. Let's see what else we got.
All right. If you could instantly attain any 3 skills, what would they be?
Oh my God.
Curveballs.
Oh my God, I'm stuck. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lousy one. We did that in our practice run. Okay, pick an easier one.
All right.
Yeah, pick an easy, or not. Well, these are random, but that is a bad one. All right, pick another one.
You know what? I'm finding a lot of bad ones at the moment.
Okay, while you're looking for one, I will go with this one that was another one submitted. What does gumbutener mean?
I don't know.
Really? You don't know? This was submitted from Derek from Fight League Atlantic as well. What does gumbutener mean? No? That doesn't mean anything to you?
Maybe a typo.
Was it a typo? I don't know. That's what he said. Okay, and I didn't even look it up because I was like,
I'm not looking dumb. I know this.
Yeah. Did you know that I was looking up as well, Maria, as you become more and more famous, like I said, I think it's pretty easy to become the most popular person in PEI. Because I was looking it up and this is what I saw on Google. Everyone's photo is black and white.
Funny.
So Maria, I don't know. Like if you had to say, like, who's the most popular person from PEI that you know? or like
Most popular?
like
My
there's no
cousin
like
Ben. My cousin Ben, who actually got me into mixed martial arts, is living in Nashville right now, and he's doing pretty good. He's a singer.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. All right.
maybe.
Well, hey, look though, I think you can be at the top of that Google list. Like
Okay.
maybe even just with one professional win, I think you might make it up there. 'Cause-
Like get it out of the black and white.
yeah,
photos.
yeah. At least someone in a color photo. All right, Brady Bunch, what you got? You got one more?
All right, I'm going to throw out 2 questions.
All right.
One's a silly one from the deck. One is just out of curiosity. You're clearly a hockey fan. With the Stanley Cup coming up, if you had to root for a non-Canadian team, which team would it be?
Oh God.
I knew
I
it.
was like, Leafs all the way. I'm a hardcore Toronto fan.
That is so terrible, Maria. Like the amount of disappointment in your young life.
Who's your favorite team? You're from Toronto, are you?
Yeah, well, of course it's Toronto, but I'm miserable right along with you. Like
Oh
we've
yeah.
never
Well, not
won,
this
you
year.
know?
We're lucky.
Yes. Okay, sure. So favorite other team, non-Canadian.
Non-Canadian team? Mm, not Florida.
All right. You know what? I'll almost take that. We know who you hate the most.
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. That's my least favorite and least
All right.
favorite Florida because we play them next.
All right.
I hate
Brady Bunch, last question for you, and then I'll do my last one.
this was going to be, I think, a random question. Oh, or I think it was from this. If you could raise anyone from the dead, anyone from any point in history, and just like chill with them for a day and ask them any question, who would it be?
Why are they so hard? I've never got asked that in my life.
Because we don't want to ask the same boring question.
Yeah, we don't want to ask you like, hey, how do you like blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
God, I'm thankful that like everyone I want to talk to is alive. Dead or alive, I can talk to anyone.
Okay, yeah,
I'll take
dead or alive. Yeah, dead or alive.
Complicating this.
I'd like to talk to in person. Maybe like Rose Namajunas.
Nice.
Yeah, we're on
Yeah.
a fighting podcast. I'll do that.
Okay, hold on. Wait, what did you say? On the what?
Since we're on the a fighting podcast.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say Austin Matthews, but you know.
Oh, Austin Matthews. Yeah, okay. But hold on. Rose Namajunas, that's an interesting pick. Do you think she'd be interesting to talk to? She seems weird, no?
I don't think she'd have much to say.
Yeah. Like, I get such a strange vibe from her. Like,
I think it would be cool to like see her in person and kind of pick apart her brain a little bit, you know?
You're talking.
yeah, like maybe I feel like you might need to spar her
Oh,
to
God.
kind of to
Give me
then no,
those
but
years.
but to kind of like get into like maybe a conversation. You know, when you're like friendly sparring,
Mhm.
then it kind of opens people up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like if you just sat down with her, I don't know, like, you know, like I do worry, like if I ever got her on this podcast, which of course, you know, hey Rose, you're watching this, please come on the podcast. Like it would be amazing, but I also worry sometimes. I'm like, oh, I wonder how that conversation would go. You
Yeah,
know?
I think sometimes it's easier to talk to people in like the gym setting. You know, you have something to relate to, I guess, you know, talk about something.
Yeah. Or you could like be talking about like something you were working on or whatever, and then it could translate into like an easy conversation. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly. I think that's why I like the fighting community in general, you know, like you're beating someone up, they're like, oh, you can do this better here. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Push that off them. Like it's funny.
Yeah. Maria, before I ask you my last question, is there anything that you'd want to say to fans, friends, viewers, and listeners of the podcast?
Not really. I'm excited to continue my career, and I hopefully you guys continue on watching me and supporting me. And
yeah, of course. And I'm going to put your photo up here. This is the fight poster. I believe this is it, right? This is for FLA 9. There you are on the left-hand side. I will say, Maria, I know you're on this podcast, and we'll try to get you as many viewers and followers as possible. Follow at Maria Clinton 71, her hockey jersey number. But when I think I told you before, my friend was creating MMA Social Squad, who always makes like cool like fan art and stuff. They were doing a poster for you. They did tell me to tell you, you got to get more photos on your social media.
Oh man, I'm trying. I
he
didn't
was
even
having
have
hard
Instagram
time.
before. Well, I had Instagram, but I deleted everything, and I wasn't even on it for like a year. And then I started mixed martial arts, and I was like, oh my god, I have to start posting stuff, and like doing the social media side, because it is like to promote yourself, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I started to
Yeah.
add photos on there, but
Yeah. I don't know how some of these fighters do it. I feel like they've just got like a professional photographer around with them like all the time because like we've had guests on this podcast, especially like Katharina Leaner, Tai Shea. Like they always have like so many photos of just their regular day. You're like, how the hell are you getting like all these photos that are so perfectly like angled,
yeah,
But yeah, you gotta hire someone out there in PEI and just say, hey, look, you gotta follow me around the gym for a few days, whatever, and just take a bunch of random shots. So yeah,
I got to
yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Especially as you move up in the pro ranks, because we've heard from a lot of UFC fighters how important it is, like your social media following to grow it,
Mm.
to get fans and stuff like that, because promotions will look at that and go like, oh, this person's got a good following. Okay. Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've been trying.
Yeah. No, get on it. It's going to look awesome when you've got like a bunch of like your winning photos and stuff like that, right? Like as you develop your pro career. So that's awesome. We've asked you a lot of hard questions, Maria, and I apologize. We we killed you with hard questions today, but I am going to ask you one more question. We've asked it to our last 4 guests. We're going to ask it to everybody because it's been giving us interesting answers. It's a question that my mom used to ask me growing up all the time. So I'm asking it to you, Maria. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
Right now, 9.5. Pretty happy. Yeah.
Damn. All right. And can you explain why? Like what gets you to be a 9.5? Highest we've ever had, mind you.
Really? Oh, maybe I'm ranking myself high.
No. No. It's about you and how you feel. So why are you a 9.5?
I guess just where I'm at in my life. I think that I'm on a good path with school, my mindset, my physical health. Everything's going in a good direction. So I'm just happy right now.
Love that.
Dang, that's awesome. That is the confidence of a true Canadian, Bradybunch. See, that's what we get. That's what we are up here.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, living out on East Coast, that definitely makes you happy too.
Mhm.
Maria Clinton, it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, especially during fight week, which I know is a big week for you. But geez Louise, no nerves here. You look cool as a cucumber. Got the cool blonde hair.
I'm
About to
trying.
kick ass. Right. So good luck to you, Maria. And thank you so much for joining the podcast. And hopefully we'll be able to have you back on again and talk about everything that's happening in your life.
Thank you. That was awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, Maria. Have a good one. See ya. Bye-bye.
Cool.
See, Canadians are the best.
They really are.
We should only have Canadians on the podcast. That's the rule from now on. You know what I mean?
Move there.
Yeah. Guys, thank you for joining the podcast. If you're here because of Maria Clinton, thank you so much. Please follow and subscribe. You see all the stuff down there. Appreciate it. I always love to do our Friends of the Podcast update. And so Maria Clinton, again, fighting this Saturday. So go check out it's on pay-per-view. So just go find the link, FLA 9. I'll put it in the show notes when this goes up. I'll find that and I'll put that up. Friends of the Podcast update. I want to give a shout out to Rageworks Podcast Network. We're a part of them and they always support the show. So thank you so much. Check them out at rageworksnetwork.com. I was on the Media Virus podcast. So that was a cool podcast. If you want to hear about me and some of my experiences with different guests, you can check that out. Jenna Bishop, obviously the superstar. We've had her on twice, Bellator fighter. She just posted today that she's ready for a fight. So I don't know if that means that fight news is like on its way, but she's probably one more fight until she has to get that title, right? So, and I'm very excited for her. Love Jenna Bishop. Chelsea Chandler, UFC, Stockton Zone. She finally announces that she has a fight July 15th against Norma Dumont. That's in the featherweight division, and this seems to be a title eliminator. I think everybody's going to believe whoever wins this fight gets to fight Amanda Nunes for the title.
Is that really what you're thinking?
It has to be. Otherwise, why do you have this division? You know what I mean? Like, you got to let these people fight for something.
You saw they have Chelsea ranked 14th.
Yeah. Her ranking, she wasn't ranked before, right? She moved up.
Yeah.
Okay, so she moved up into the rankings. I believe that's because of her excellent appearance on our podcast.
I think so too.
They said, "Oh, damn, you're so cool. Okay, put her in 14." Yeah. So Chelsea Chandler, she's the best. She talks so much shit about everyone. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait. Now that we know her personality, I'm going to be dying to look at her interviews and her fight week stuff that she'll post, right? Because I want to see if she really like just catches people's attention and like catches people's eye. You know what I mean? You have to. If you're in that featherweight division, you better friggin' do something to make people want to watch you and want you to get that title shot.
Yes.
So it's a biggie.
Yeah, she takes out Amanda. That'd be so dope.
Can you imagine?
That'd
That'd be so awesome. And then she comes on our podcast with the title.
Yes, and I remember us talking about Amanda and how she felt about Amanda.
Yeah.
So
go check out that podcast if you didn't see it. I'll put that one up at the end if I can remember to do that. So it's just an easy click for you if you're on YouTube. Next week on the podcast, fresh off his win last week at UFC, off 3 days' notice, making his UFC debut, Marcus the Maniac McGee.
That's awesome.
Cool dude, and trains at the lab where our friend Brian Bam Bam Barberina used to train. He's coming on the podcast next week. So very excited to talk to a guy who on 3 days' notice shows up at the UFC, fights, second round stoppage, performance of the night bonus, 50 Gs. Life could not be better for this dude. And he now earns a spot on the Fight Insight podcast. Right? I mean, holy moly, this guy's life could not be better. Brady Bunch, let's talk about 2 things, I guess, that we're going to try to talk to. We've got some decent time now. We'll go with the BKFC event first. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you did not watch BKFC 41 or whatever the hell it was on the weekend, you're insane. You totally dropped the ball if you did not watch it. Here is the President David Feldman after the event.
Great fucking night. Great fucking night for BKFC and the sport and the fighters. It was unfucking believable.
This dude is on cloud 9 after that event. It could not have gone any better. Right?
Not at all.
No. Crazy night. The Ben Rothwell fight was incredible. The Christine Faria fight where she defended her title was amazing. The Chad Mendes and Eddie Alvarez fight, insane.
Yes.
And then the goddamn Mike Perry, who was killing the promos all week. Look at that photo. God damn. Like, so cool, this dude. He is killing it with the promotion and everything like that he's doing. Puts on an incredible performance. So there he is, beats Rockhold. And then Conor McGregor comes into the ring, cuts one of the best promos for that promotion. I don't know if they paid him. Did you hear if they paid him?
I didn't hear anything about him being paid. In fact, if anything, I think I saw Feldman talking about, like, hey, he came all by himself. He flew out all by himself. It was So I think Conor literally is just like out having fun and like wanted to be at the show, wanted to be part of it.
Yeah. I mean, crazy. I did post a meme. Like the minute I saw him there cutting the promo, I'm like on my phone making this meme, but I posted this one. That's a photo of Dana watching Conor shoot a promo, holding the BKFC belt in the ring, praising BKFC. And then after the event, keeps posting stuff.
Yes. Right? And being shared everywhere, right? And it sounds like he was staying in contact with the org. Like,
yeah.
So, like, part of me is wondering if he really will somehow get a one-fight deal or...
So the thing is that I don't know if you know, but he only has 1 fight left on his contract with UFC.
So basically, he goes and does the fucking Chandler fight, and then he could jump to this if he wants.
That's what it sounds like. And now, here's my conspiracy theory. Is Conor just such a genius businessman that he does this to now force UFC's hand to pay him even more in a renewed contract?
He is a fucking brilliant businessman.
Right? Because now you're like, hey, look what I just did. I've now forget the fact that any organization would want him, but now look, I've gone there and goddamn worn their belt and cut a promo for BKFC, you know these guys are going to pay me jillions of dollars.
Yeah, just like he stole Aldo's belt back in the day, right? Like this is his old tricks, right? He knows what to do.
Yeah.
And I think you might be right. Or there's part of me. I understand BKFC doesn't seem to have the money yet to probably hold on to a Conor. But if they get investors, who the hell knows? But Conor is almost, his fighting style is almost like meant to be BKFC.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And that's where it's like, yo, part of me, like the idea of him forcing the UFC to pay him more. But let's keep it real. What he's had is it one win in 5 matches in a few years, right? Like, what if he loses his next match, right? It's not going to be a good look. But if he can jump to this sport, actually compete well,
yeah,
it keeps his brand name alive. And who the hell knows? Maybe he becomes part owner of BKFC. Who the fuck knows?
I think okay, like what you're saying is like he's almost like hedged his bet, right? Like, okay, if I get beat by Chandler, which there's a good chance, like Chandler's a killer, he's still in his prime.
Yes.
If I lose to Chandler, even if UFC devalues my stock, which they're not going to, now I've got BKFC, who could easily go, well, that's not his goddamn sport. His new sport is bare knuckle, and here's our superstar, right?
All right.
I mean, yeah, it's a crazy move. It was exciting as hell, that whole event. And again, if you didn't watch that event, that was a crazy good event. Like, you know that I love BKFC.
Yes.
But that friggin' event solidified that organization as second in the world to me. 100%. The walkout, the goddamn screens, the way they had everything designed, it was beautiful. The owner said at that same interview that I shot that little bit, it was about an 8,000 person attendance, I believe is what he was saying, 8,000 gate with $1 million gate. So, you know, they made decent money, and if they can keep putting on shows like that,
see,
crazy.
No, what I find really interesting though. See what you know? It's going to be this Saturday. I believe it's this Saturday.
No, Friday.
Friday. Masvidal promo, right? Promotion.
Oh no. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. Masvidal. Who's even fighting on that card? Do you know?
Roy Nelson. So, but I think it's bare knuckle. I might be wrong.
Oh, not okay. Okay, wait.
Maybe I'm not. I thought it was through Masvidal's organization, but they're having some type of bare knuckle, I believe. Roy Nelson's one of the fighters. I think it's this week.
Yeah. Okay, to be fair, I did see a few things of that. I think it's Gamebred Bareknuckle, Friday, May 5th.
So you know what? Like that, knowing the way that he quote unquote retired with his last fight, knowing how him and Dana are so politically aligned and all that, and have so much love for each other, I find it really interesting. I think they're pushing this bare knuckle because they know how big of a threat BKFC is right now. So like this is their hope in sense of, I think, stealing from some of that wave, which I don't think is going to be very successful.
No, I like the Gamebred boxing that they had. The last one, obviously, we were all a fan of that.
Yeah,
but no, like I'm looking at this Gamebred Bareknuckle, and I'm Googling it and taking a look. I can't tell you who any of these people are. And that's the problem. Wait, aside from who?
Roy Nelson, I think.
Roy Big Country Nelson?
Yeah, do you remember him?
No, of course I know him. Yeah, the belly tap. I don't see him on any posters. Maybe he is. I do see this dude that's coming back.
He's fighting
Bobby Knight. He's in there. That seems to be who there's a lot of posters of.
It says, maybe it was announced late, but he's going to be fighting Dylan Kleckler.
Oh, I love Dylan Kleckler.
Yeah, so that might be.
Kidding. I have no clue who that is. Do you know who that is?
Oh, really? Yeah. So you know what? I think I always loved Roy Nelson, so I think I'm putting in just for that, actually.
No, but you know the guy. You know who Kleckler is?
Yeah, not well.
Oh, okay, all right.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think he fought for BKFC.
Okay, so he's gone from BKFC.
He won for BKFC.
All right. Well, all I know is that BKFC is kicking ass, and they're moving up in the world for sure off the heels of that. They gotta now. I feel like this was such a success. They need to now somehow keep that momentum going. You can't do some weaker cards now. I feel like they really got to quickly adjust some of their next cards and really like add in some star power, add in something, because you can't go off this super high and then go back to like a normal BKFC card.
Yep.
Yeah. You gotta somehow maintain this momentum and do something. Now, the event I thought you were talking about is this Friday, which I believe is in the same arena as BKFC. Someone told me that that was messaging me when I was posting stuff. But 1FC makes their American debut on American soil debut with a lineup that is iffy, if you're asking me. You got Sage Northcutt, big, who cares really? You've got Demetrius Johnson as the main event against a guy who I'm not sure speaks English. And Demetrius Johnson is a guy who, you know, if you believe UFC, couldn't really sell pay-per-views and stuff. And Demetrius is saying that it might be his retirement fight. If you're saying it's your retirement fight, I don't know how invested you are in this fight. I always worry about that. It's going to be a tough card. They do have Stamp Fairtex on the card fighting former guest of the podcast, Elise Lil Savage Anderson. So I'm very excited for that fight.
Interesting.
But I don't know. I hope that Lil Savage wins. But I think if Elise Anderson wins, 1FC will be mighty pissed. Because no offense, but Stamp is their superstar.
Yes.
And Elise, when she came on our podcast, this was before she even made her 1FC debut, she had commented about thinking like that they weren't promoting her a lot. And she was upset about that. And she thought that there was a little bit of favoritism, perhaps, to the person that she was fighting at the time, which was Itsuki Harada, who we know is a 1FC like superstar. Like they love her. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But the big thing with that card is, and I had prepared this poster like a month ago, and I thought for sure, Brady Bunch, 1,000,000%, I thought that at this event, they were going to announce the signing of Francis Ngannou. I had prepared this poster to launch this week thinking 100% this is what's about to happen.
And that's what I think was expected to happen. Ngannou. I got to say his name right. Ngannou.
Yeah. Ngannou, I think.
All right. He's
all right.
So bad. That's what I fought in New York City for so long. Oh my God. I always felt bad mispronouncing a kid's name. I got to get better. But yo, to go back, what do you think he did? Because when they talk about them not picking him up, it sounds like it wasn't financial.
So we're going to talk about that a little bit, because what happens is Shatri Sitodong, who's the owner and founder of 1FC, goes on Ariel Helwani's show last week and says, hey, this Sunday, I've got an in-person meeting with Ngannou. We're going to be making our final offer. He talks about it. Sounds like kind of positive. We had heard that I think BKFC and Bellator had both kind of made comments that they were no longer going to be making offers, that it wasn't going to work out, right? I thought Bellator was a really good place for Ngannou, really. Then I think, okay, fine, 1FC, maybe it's cool. They bring him over to the East where he will be like 17 times the size of the normal adult male.
Yeah.
And he will like be some like Godzilla monster over there and just, you know, be a superstar, right? Like, why not go to Asia and be like a massive star? So Shatri says, we're going over, we've got a meeting, blah, blah, blah. Then on, was it maybe Monday morning, news starts to hit everywhere with a statement that Shatri puts out. And I'll play a quick little video. And this was a part of the statement that's made.
After careful reflection, we decided not to submit our final offer. Francis is a good guy and a good champion. I wish him continued success and happiness. At the end of the day, he added, I didn't feel that Francis and I were fully aligned on non-financial terms.
So there you go. So now Shatri goes out on Monday and publicly announces that we're out of the Francis Ngannou business. Ariel then has, and that was Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour. Ariel then has Ngannou released, I think it was today, the day we're filming it, releases some messages that he went back and forth with Ngannou about. Ngannou says, hey, I was transparent with Chatri when I met him that I've already got a verbal offer / agreement on the table with another promotion.
All right.
Doesn't say what that other promotion is, but says I've already got an agreement there, but they still have the chat. And that's what happens. So the only other promotion that exists that we can think it would be PFL.
Yep.
I mean, $1
PFL.
billion right now, if you can name a PFL heavyweight.
Nope.
Million, you just lost $1 billion, Brady Bunch. That could have changed your life. That offer was valid. Nobody. If you're watching this podcast, leave a comment without cheating. Leave a comment of any PFL heavyweight.
I'm trying to think. Is there any other organization that it could be? I don't think so, right?
No. There's no other organization that's going to pay him or whatever. So the issue here is, I mean, okay, let's look at this angle first. Why Ariel was commenting about this, and some people have been a little bit upset, but why would Chatri announce that we're not dealing, like, we can't? Can I get your thoughts on why you think he would release that statement to say we are not going to be able to provide an offer to Ngannou?
I feel like the only reason is because we knew the meeting was happening. That's it.
No, and I think that's a beautiful answer. I think that really is the answer. He went public saying, I'm having a meeting with this guy.
Yeah.
So if you know it's not happening, why let people think things? So I feel like it was a proper business move to go out and say, hey guys, sorry, we're not. And he says very complimentary things about Francis.
Yes, I think he's a good guy. Right.
Yeah. It was non-financial, it was blah blah. But some people have been giving slack, going, you ass, blah blah blah. There are some comments that say, well, he did that because now he's devalued Francis in the market, because now whatever that other organization is, they'll be like, wait a second, you've got no other offers on the table.
In a way, fuck.
You know what I mean?
Too, though.
Hmm?
I can see that too, but here's the thing. No, there was so much public discussion about it.
Yeah.
That, like, I don't know. I doubt the guy was trying to really hurt his value or stock, but I see how it could hurt his value or stock.
And a lot of people were saying things like, Francis, they think that Francis has really screwed himself out of everything. They think that leaving the UFC was a bad move. They think that, standing up for what he believed in was a bad move, if you believe all the stuff that he had said before. Can I ask your opinion, Brady Bunch? What are your thoughts about Ngannou, in terms of how he's made this move? Do you think he's still valid in the marketplace?
I think he really hurt himself.
You do?
I do. This is my opinion. I think that he should have worked with the UFC, or if not, had a solid deal with Bellator. Like you, I think that was the best bet. Or PFL. I don't think he should have done what he did until he knew already that he had something lined up, something solid. The fact that this man hasn't fought for as long as he has now, right? And he's out there trying to get a contract. He's only getting older, probably only rustier. And his name is losing value by the day, in my opinion, right? The other thing was he should have made a boxing match happen quick, because he was talking about that stuff too, right? So I do think he screwed himself. I think he let his ego get a little too far ahead of himself. It's almost like a band, right? When a band is pretty successful and there's that one band member that's like, hey, like, I don't get enough respect for my talent as this drummer or whatever, or the bassist, and then they try to do their own side project. We never hear about them again, or we hear they bomb, or maybe they come back down the line, right? He's not going back to the UFC, right? He screwed himself. He left the band that gave him a platform, made him a name. That's my opinion. I think.
Yeah. So the label that I made for this discussion was Ngannou, Ngannou.
Exactly.
I'm trademarking that, by the way. Ngannou. I'm trademarking that. Hashtag Ngannou. Yeah, you see that a lot. You see that people are thinking that he's really blown it and that he's done. I mean, I like to believe that the guy is a nice guy and he's a good guy. He was standing up for what he believed in. And regardless of not having an agreement already out there, he took the stand to say, no, I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. And or I don't like dealing with this promotion and I just want out. So I'm going to say some lofty goals. They'll say no, and then I can walk away.
Yes.
I don't blame him for this. I think now, though, you know, it sucks that he hasn't got something quicker, but I hope he makes some good money. Someone said that they saw something where he said he needs to be borrowing money from people. I'm like, this dude hasn't financially planned at all.
I believe it.
Shit.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, if that was the case and you had no money, then you should have taken at least one fight with UFC for $8 million.
Yes.
Then go sit back and relax.
Yes. And like, just think about it, because as he's not fighting, what sponsors is he getting, right? Like, when you're an active fighter, those deals come along. As long as you're fighting, right? He literally took him, like, what income is coming in each week, right?
Yeah.
Going back to like the music industry, the number of people, they get a nice upfront chunk of money from a record label. Yes, they tour the world and they're successful. They don't have a penny in the future.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Like, it's interesting what's going to happen to Ngannou. I don't know. But I do believe that Chatri didn't do anything in any ill will. I think Chatri's statement was simply like you said. I think it was just to clear the air so that his fans or investors or whatever would know where ONE FC is headed. It's a tough one, but I don't think Ngannou made a mistake. I think Ngannou is doing what he has to do, and hopefully he lands with PFL, which I guess. All I know is that then my PFL upper deck cards might be worth a little bit more if PFL grows in value. I still haven't opened these, so.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Remember we spoke about PFL and like isn't Jake Paul supposed to be making his MMA premiere? Like, there's been no mention of that.
No. Ever since Jake Paul even released that video saying that he's the head of talent relations, whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
Zippo. No, yep. I mean, I haven't seen anything with Jake Paul with that.
So it makes me wonder, like, did they back out on that deal? Him losing to this other guy in the boxing match, did that screw that for him? Is where he does not have the skills for MMA yet, and he's secretly training behind the scenes, and in 2 years, but
even so, you need this guy to be out being the public face of your company. You need him to be doing something to make the value.
And PFL, I hate to say it, it's almost like Kayla Harrison losing took some out of their whole organization, not just her. It's like we were hearing about them. They were building up.
Kayla Harrison losing, Hurricane Shane Burgos losing on his debut. Yes. Wasn't there another UFC guy that lost in his debut? Was it Magic Marlon Moraes, I think, might have lost in his debut? Like, it is not good when you sign these guys that are former superstars or superstars with other organizations. They come in and lose.
Yes.
It's like, well, shit. That's great for the guy that beat him, but overall for your organization, you need these superstars to be superstars. Like, that's why Mike Perry is kicking ass in BKFC. Yes. He comes in as a name with a personality, with a style, with a look, and he's 3-0 in BKFC and putting on wicked shows, and now he's the face.
Yes.
Right? Eddie Alvarez goes in there, kicks ass. He's now a face. Ben Rothwell, he's a face. Like, you need those guys to do well. That's why you can't be hiring has-beens. You're hiring guys that still have talent. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a tough call for PFL. I just don't see how they have the money. The other news, and someone was just messaging me saying, "Can I talk about this?" But PFL apparently looking to buy Bellator.
Really?
I don't know. I'm getting mixed messages on that. I've seen posts about that. I
thought PFL had some secret funders behind them as well. So maybe this is true.
But then what are you going to do? You're going to buy Bellator? Like, here's the thing. You do that and you've eaten up your own competition that was making you better. If PFL buys Bellator, all that happens is PFL is the new Bellator. Like, you're just the new number 2.
Or they keep both companies existing but separate.
Good luck. Like, how can you? What's the point in that then? Now you're renting double the venues, paying double the amount of people, and you're just splitting your audience base.
But
I don't have enough time to watch every organization. You know what I mean?
I kind of agree with you.
Yeah, and I don't.
That's why I'm like, yo, BKFC is where my loyalty lays. You got these other bare knuckle orgs. Yes, they throw on good fights, but no, I only have time to fucking dedicate myself to one. I'm gonna do it with the one that I think is the most exciting at the moment. So I hear that.
Yeah, that said, people that watch this podcast know that I'm a big fan of Invicta.
Yes.
And when this comes out on the Thursday. They'll have had an event yesterday on the Wednesday, and there are some good fights at Invicta. I do love Invicta, and what I love about Invicta is they're just like an island unto themselves.
Yes.
Right? All women league. Their events are on Wednesdays. They compete with nobody. I can watch every single Invicta event, no problem. Right?
Yeah.
It never conflicts. Whereas like 1FC's on the Friday nights. Okay, I can kind of watch 1FC, no problem too. That's fine. Or it's in the morning because of the Asia time zone difference. But like when it comes to PFL and Bellator and UFC, it's tough. And BKFC, like it's tough to monopolize your time. If PFL buys Bellator, they have to merge. You can't run 2 separate thingies. And I feel like they would change to PFL. Like I don't think they'd give up that name. You're not going to become Bellator, that's for sure.
I still have a feeling they will keep both running. I'm trying to know. Other organizations.
And here's the other thing. We don't want PFL to buy Bellator because it also reduces the amount of contracts available in the world for fighters.
That's true.
Right? Like if Maria Clinton becomes the superstar that she is now destined to be, it's good if she can go, oh, I could go to Bellator, oh, I could go to PFL, oh, I could go to UFC. Like if she has options, if these 2 organizations just eat each other up, there's no point in that.
So
for fighters, you know. But I don't know. But interesting. All the stuff that's happening is interesting. The Ngannou thing. I don't know. Did I want to talk about anything else with that Ngannou thing? Chatri statement. Why does he put it out there? Francis, he's transparent about a new deal. Oh, why? Here's the next point. Why did Francis take the meeting if he already had the let's say gentleman's bet with X organization? Bradybunch, why would he take the meeting?
Just to hear, maybe to be just straight up and honest, but also to hear, are you guys willing to allow me to maybe do this thing and also work with you guys? Or what numbers do you have where maybe I won't do this thing?
Yeah.
And maybe just honestly, it makes me wonder who reached out to who to set up the meeting. You know?
Either way, again, we are 100% simpatico here. Yeah, that was my thing. Francis is just a really nice dude. He honored the meeting that he had scheduled, shows up in person. It's never a bad idea to be a good person. Shows up in person, meets with Chatri, is transparent about the deal, says, hey, this is what's happening. But yes, of course, until the ink is signed, yeah, if Chatri wanted to say, hey, look, I get that you've got that deal, but let me put my numbers out here. Let me put my deal out here. There's nothing stopping him from still putting out that offer. And so I think that's why he does the meeting. Like, I think Ngannou and Chatri in this case were both perfect gentlemen, perfect professionals, and they did what they had to do to have a proper meeting. You know, anybody talking shit about Ngannou, you know, saying that he's ruining himself and whatever. I get it, but you know, he's still doing his thing, and Chatri and saying anything about him, no. Even though his company has blocked me, I'm still supporting this dude. You know?
That's true. We got to get him to unblock you somehow.
Yeah, I just want Chatri to come on the podcast. Chatri seems like a really nice dude. I would love to have the opportunity to chat with him on the podcast. I've kind of left him alone in terms of messaging him because obviously this massive event. But after this event is due, I think I'm going to start hitting him hard. I would appreciate if you start messaging him as well and see if we can get him on this podcast. We got to get his attention.
All right.
Seems like a good dude. I feel like we could have a good conversation, you know?
Sure.
All right. What else do we got? Next week on the podcast, I don't know if you're going to be here, Brady Bunch, because you've got your fight coming up quick.
Yes. I have a feeling I will be here, though. I need
Okay.
this helps de-stress me. But yes, my fight, I got to find out when my flight is. Weigh-ins are Thursday. My fight is Friday.
It is coming up so quick. I can't even believe it.
I'm so nervous.
Really?
Good nervous, but yeah.
Like good energy, good nerves. What can I ask? How do we watch your fight?
So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's literally through like the Rough and Rowdy website. I think roughandrowdy.com.
Right.
And you just log on there and you could stream it.
Okay, nice.
And then I think, as you know, they tend to release the fights down the line on their like YouTubes and stuff. But I'm hoping some people will watch it live, especially if I show up in my best form and don't embarrass myself. Yeah. Those are some of the nightmares I've been having lately, people. Some of us fighters dream about this shit, and I've woken up to a few nights just envisioning things in that ring. Because I know this is my biggest match yet. And I'm a little intimidated, even though I think I'm going to win. My opponent has had 23 fights with a winning record. So I know I can't take her lightly. But we're pushing things forward for trans fighters, trans versus trans. I think the both of us can help change this world in many ways. And I'm hoping people actually pay attention. And then pay attention to whatever comes next for the both of us, win or lose. So yeah, thanks for letting me plug that quick.
Yeah. No, cut this out and plug it. No niceties, Brady Bunch.
Yeah, no.
You're going in for the kill.
Yep.
This is serious shit.
No,
this is rough and rowdy. They don't want you to be playing patty cake with anyone. Nope. They want the finish, right?
Yes, they do. I get a nice bonus if I get a knockout. So I'm going for that knockout. I might feel a little bad after, but not beforehand and not during. Because I know my opponent is going to be trying to do the same exact thing. And I don't blame her, right? But I know I've put in the work, build up this muscle. I just hope I don't gas out.
No gassing out. So all the best to you. If for some reason we don't see you on the podcast next week, obviously, good luck. We'll all be supporting you like crazy. Any promo you do, don't forget to tag us because then we can share it and all that too. We'll keep everybody up to date with like how to watch. But I think, I agree because our former guest, Sarah Ferrugia, when she fought for Rough and Rowdy, I think you just go to the Rough and Rowdy website and then everything just goes through there. Like you don't have to go through Fight Pass or pay-per-view or whatever. Like you just go through the website and figure it out. That's the same, I believe, for Fight League Atlantic if you want to watch Maria Clinton's fight, which is going to be a great fight. I really hope the best for her. Her answer to that, "Are you happy?" That was a good one. She gave a good answer.
And it makes sense hearing her say, like, she never gets angry.
Yeah.
She's got the right wiring,
just calm, happy Canadian as we all are.
And that probably helps in a fight. I mean it. Because listen, sometimes you get angry in a fight and you do stupid shit.
Yeah.
Calm assassin, I'm sure.
Yeah. In the future, get rid of that one card with the 3 things. She did not like that question.
I thought that was a good one, right?
I know, but I think it puts people, maybe it puts people in too tough of a too tough of a spot. But you're right. You could say cooking. Even I would just say I want Barboza's kicks.
Yes, like
I want Mike Perry's toughness, and I want Silva's head movement.
yeah,
Right? Or something like that, right? Like just maybe we could change it to like what 3 MMA skills
that's
or
what we'll do. We'll come up with like specific
something.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. We are right on time. I'm going to put the 2 links to a couple of podcasts up so you can see those now. Click on those. Aside from that, Brady Bunch, thank you so much for another great week. And we'll see you next week with Marcus the Maniac McGee. Have a good one.